What's going on, podcast family? This is your boy MTV back again with another episode of Change the Channel. And today I just sat down on my Facebook Live with my Facebook family and discussed the life and the tragic passing of XXXtentacion. If you're not familiar, he's a rapper who was murdered a couple of days ago, and he had a very checkered past, including one of a domestic violence and abuse towards his former girlfriend, allegedly. Apparently, they haven't gone to trial yet, so we won't necessarily pass judgment on the young man because that was for a court of law and for God. That's not for me to do. But I saw a lot of real mixed reactions to his death. A lot of people really in mourning, showing a lot of sorrow, and a lot of people like, yo, fuck that abuser, like, get him up out of here, you know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of conversation and a lot of great feedback from my Facebook Live. So definitely, if you haven't liked my page on Facebook, make sure you do so. It's facebook.com/poolside chats Hollywood, and you'll be able to see that live video, and read all the comments from the listeners. But we just basically discussed, should we cancel a young man for the transgressions of his past, or should we, give him a chance and, hope that he could grow into be something more? Jadena had put out a tweet likening X, who was 20 at the time of his passing, to Malcolm X when he was a 20-year-old and what kind of things he was into. So I'm not going to hold you too long, but just go ahead and listen to the episode. It's only about 30 minutes, so you should be able to get through it on your break, on your commute, doing your workout, But as always, man, we really appreciate you listening, and sit back, pour up a little something, and let's get into it.
I'm a Gito, she know, he know, the streets know, get him by the kilo, Nino, if you need those, holler on a dealer. I'm a Gito, she know, he know, the streets know, get him by the kilo, Nino, if you need those, holler on a dealer.
But anyway, what's going on, Facebook family? This is your boy MTV. I'm here just to chit-chat a little bit about the recent passing of rapper XXXtentacion. And despite what a lot of people on my timeline are going to say, I'm going to have a moment of silence for the young man. Personally, anytime a young black man loses his life, I'm gonna feel a certain way about that. A lot of people on my timeline and my news feed have been saying, we shouldn't be praising this woman beater, this abuser, and whatnot. And it's no secret, dude definitely had a very violent past, man. Like, just not even outside of the woman that he's alleged to have abused. Dude, he had all kind of home invasion charges. He had gun charges. He had a lot going on for himself. Let me crack my little root beer. Don't be trying to steal my swag on the root beer out there. But X, what I'm saying, definitely without question, had a troubled past, and I don't know who hasn't, And let's definitely start with the fact that I don't want anybody thinking I'm here excusing things or making excuses for things or trying to defend an alleged abuser. It's definitely nothing like that, but I do want us to remain open-minded that we've all been young at some point in time, and some of our greatest leaders and some of our greatest inspirations have had checkered past as well. I know myself, I've had a checkered past. I ain't never been on trial for domestic abuse and breaking in niggas' homes or no shit like that. But I mean, let's keep in mind that X was 20 years old at the time of his passing, and I know there's not really many of us that would want to be judged on the things that we did as children, as that we did as youngsters. Jadena, for example, caught a lot of flack for his tweet, which I thought made a lot of sense. He put out a tweet. He said, let me see if I can find it here. There we go. For those who are so woke that their compassion is asleep, remember this. If Malcolm X was killed at age 20, he would have died an abuser, a thief, an addict, and a narrow-minded, depressed, violent criminal. So I believe in change for the young. And he caught a lot of flack for that. A lot of people was talking this and talking that and, saying, how dare you compare this abuser to Malcolm X and this and that. I guess y'all don't know who Detroit Red was. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's actually not that far off of a comparison. Malcolm Little, Detroit Red, he was a wild nigga. Like, y'all, maybe y'all just are going based off the film that Denzel Washington portrayed Malcolm X. But read the book, read the book, the autobiography of Malcolm X, and you'll see that the boy was wild. Like he did it. He did everything there was to do, and obviously we see what a turnaround and what a change he created in his life, and not only a change that he created in his life, but a change that he created for so many more, and so many of us to this day. There are tons of us that are still inspired by Malcolm X's teachings. To this day. So to condemn X and write him off as, strictly an abuser, I think we're jumping the gun just a bit. And again, I'm not defending what he was alleged to have done by no means. Like, I don't subscribe to beating women by no means. But at the same time, if somebody can do something horrific and learn from it, and not only learn from it, but also go on to become better and to enlighten others to also do better and become better, is that not something that we should hope for and wish for? And, from what I've looked, I'm not really a huge fan of XXXtentacion, but from what I've learned, like, dude was donating money to domestic violence awareness groups. He was changing, like his music also. But dude's music was changing. Dude's attitude was changing. Like, even if you look at one of the last things that he posted on Instagram was about his upcoming charity event that he was hosting in his home area of Florida for this weekend, which now, of course, he'll never be able to do. But even like outside of that, there were quite a few other things that I seen where like I seen like some videos of him with like truck fulls of like gifts and toys that he was doing giveaways and giving back to his community and giving back to his people of his area. And I know, okay, thanks T. I got a new mic that I got plugged into my phone. Hopefully y'all can hear me. If y'all still can't hear me, let me know, and I'll probably just unplug it. I'm just trying it out now. Thank you, T. Appreciate that. But is that better? Let me know if that's better. And but back to X, man. Like, he was doing giveaways and doing charitable things and making announcements of like even like talking to his fans. He kind of almost predicted his own death. Like, was saying if anything happens to him, that he hopes that people can look past the negative and pick up the positive and be able to take some sort of message away from his music. And one thing that like I said, I'm not a huge fan of his, but I have heard some of his music, and I appreciate the fact that he seems to be at a young age highlighting a lot of mental health issues and a lot of depression things, and like, trying to fight for youngins to understand that they're not alone and that the things that they're going through it's not abnormal. You know what I mean? And again, am I saying all of, if you beat a woman that you can just go buy a couple PlayStation 4s and give them to some niggas and then you straight? Nah, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that this young man obviously, I won't say obviously, this young man appeared to be, in my opinion, starting to change his life for the better and for something different. You know what I mean? And I just think that so many of us shouldn't be so quick to write him off, especially at such a young age. I mean, had Tupac died in his early 20s, he would have died a convicted rapist. You know what I'm saying? And, granted, most of us don't really believe that he actually was guilty of that, but at the same time, he was convicted. You know what I mean? Let me let this chopper go overhead. They probably looking for Stephanie. Steph, stay inside. The chopper's out. You know what I'm saying? But, like, people really attacked Jadena on Twitter about his Malcolm X comparison One cat said that there was no way that X would have grown up to be Malcolm X. Like, he probably would have grown up to be Detroit Red. And, like, I can't believe you would be so closed-minded to even say something like that, to even think like that. Like, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous to say that a person at 20 years old can't be a different person at 25, at 30, at 40, at 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, that's just such a closed-minded thing to say. What up, Mo? How you doing? Even if we don't want to compare him to like a civil rights giant like Malcolm X, let's take another musician. Let's take another musician that we all know and love, somebody that has done so much great for the community. Let's talk about Snoop. Snoop, we all know him right now as Coach Snoop, cooking shows with Martha Stewart, game show host. He didn't put tons of kids into college and then change their opinion on, you know, being street hood type dudes, as to like going to college, being ball players, staying focused. You know, like Snoop be talking be having conversations with the mayor. You know what I'm saying? With the police department. This is the man, like Big Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? So like we can't at all. What's up, Marley? How you feeling, my G? Appreciate you tuning in. Renee, appreciate you tuning in. What's happening? But we can't at all sit here and try to act for a second like Snoop ain't the same dude in his early. I don't even think he was 20. Was in a music video where they pulling the chick titties out while she playing volleyball. You know, another chick moving through the house that they ain't like her attitude, so they spray her with the beer. You know what I'm saying? Snoop's the same man made a song, Ain't No Fun If the Homies Can't Have None. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't act like some of our favorite artists and our favorite even like community leaders now. I mean, you got to call Snoop a community leader at this point, man. You know what I'm saying? Didn't have wild shit in their 20s. Snoop had a murder trial. You know, he was on trial for being the accomplice of a murder, being the driver of the getaway vehicle, you know what I'm saying? And look at Snoop now, man. He got his own Netflix specials, Coach Snoop, where all these kids is looking up to him and hoping that they can one day be him. Now, imagine Snoop had got killed in his early 20s. Imagine how many children wouldn't have changed their life or turned their life around based on Snoop's guidance and expertise and words. So for us to say that somebody, you know, who does something at 16, 17, 18 years old can't make a change and grow up and become a positive member of the community, and not only a positive member of the community, but a positive influence on the community, I just think that's very close-minded of us. I think that's really like where we got to hope for the best. And again, like, I don't want to excuse all his alleged transgressions. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, I got a couple little comments here. My homie T, shouts out to T. He said Pun was abusing his wife. You know, my man Marley back home in Columbus, Ohio, shouts out to the ham. We all was doing dumb shit at 20. It took time for a lot of us to change and recognize this dumb shit we was doing, and the growth takes time. And I agree with all of that, man. And I just want to stress the fact that I'm not excusing whatever he was alleged to have done. Well, I'm not going to say whatever he was alleged to have done, because that shit sound bad. Like, he was alleged for beating this chick numerous times, including while she was pregnant, not allowing her to go to the hospital because he wanted her face to heal up before she go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to make no light of what he did or what he alleged to have done. Who knows what it was. Like, matter of fact, he even had some new charges added to witness tampering, because apparently the young lady was attempting to recant her story. So I guess it was, you know, the police decided that it was under the influence of X, and he was tampering with witness. So, like, they was adding those charges, adding all that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not making light of that by no means. What I am trying to say is that we can't sit here and pretend and act like all of us don't have a skeleton in our closet. They might not be as big as these goddamn skeletons are here, because these were some pretty big damn skeletons, you know what I'm saying? But we can't sit here and not recognize the young man's change, because he definitely, like, from what again, not a huge fan, but what I'm reading online and, like, things I'm reading of, like, fans of his, the dude was definitely making a change. He hardly ever came out. You know, he was staying close staying close to his house, wasn't out, wilding and going all crazy and whatnot. What's up, Pave? I see you, bro. Appreciate you. But we really just got to take a second to remember to have a little bit of compassion, not only for X, but I mean, obviously, we got to keep in mind the victim as well. But like we got to understand it. Like we can't just write people off for their first mistake. And I'm not gonna, not first mistake, but for their young mistakes is better what I want to say. You know what I mean? And speaking of the young lady in question, the ex-girlfriend who was the alleged abused, man, did y'all hear about the fucked up shit they did to her while she was trying to attend the vigil? Now, if y'all want to have some outrage, man, have some outrage at these motherfucking quote-unquote fans that when the young lady showed up, they basically, man, like, got her up out of there, like, like had hate in their heart for her because she was the one that accused him of such and wouldn't even allow him to stay at the vigil to honor her child's father. You know what I'm saying? And apparently she had brought some gifts to leave, and like they burned the gifts, bruh. If y'all want to have some outrage about something, have some outrage about that. This woman's coming to pay respects to her ex-boyfriend, the father of her child, and y'all as so-called fans, like what man was there? Like, didn't none of y'all men stand up for her? None of y'all? I couldn't have been there, bro. Y'all can't do that around me. Y'all, I don't like that. That's whack. You know what I'm saying? And the same thing, like even like dude beating on her, he couldn't have did that around me. Like can't nobody, like, that's whack, man. Y'all need to change y'all with like if especially y'all so-called fans of X and like the message that he been preaching as of late. Do you think he would appreciate that? Y'all think y'all fans of him by running some young lady away this morning and burning her shit, man? Y'all some lames for that, man. Like that ain't the message that X was teaching as of late. And if X hadn't have made this change, I wouldn't even really necessarily be here, trying to play devil's advocate and show you the other side of the fence. But like, I really do feel like dude was making a change and trying to shed light on so many different issues. And we really need to be mindful of that. You know what I'm saying? And like, another thing, like being a fan of rap and being a fan of hip-hop, like I truly do love this genre, and I'm so glad that we are in a place that we are in today where like cats like Nas and Push and Jay and Thought are still at the top of the game. You know what I'm saying? Still putting out great music. And then like we even got new cats like Chance, like J. Cole, like Kendrick, like, you know what I'm saying? They're still putting out quality music. Like everybody talking about how music is trash today. Like y'all just listening to the wrong shit, man. Go get Sci High to Prince, man. Go listen to No Dope on Sundays one time. Go listen to Layla's I can't think of the name of Rhapsody's album. It's Layla's Wisdom, excuse me. Go listen to that shit. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like I'm getting off topic now. Hold on, man. My man T said something else. He said his upbringing has a lot to do with his mental health and him being an abuser. Definitely. I think we was talking about that the other day. Jake, I'm assuming you're talking about the fight at the vigil. Is that what you're talking about? And Jake is also saying people were saying the reason why is because she made up a lot of that shit, and that's the reason why he was in trouble. I don't know. And, like maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But at the same time, man, like I feel like showing up for a vigil to pay respects, you know what I mean? Like, everybody should be allowed to pay their respects. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that's still that child's father. You know what I'm saying? That woman's carrying a child right now, and that man that lost his life is the father of that child. So if she wants to show up and pay her respect, she deserves that. And like that's just me. I don't know. I just and then like to burn the shit. Like, I mean, come on, there's no excuse for that. I'm sorry. There's no excuse for that. That's ridiculous. But to get back to what I was saying about hip hop, man, it really seems that like it's an epidemic of these young cats like beating they chick, like like at least being connected or alleged to, having domestic abuse and domestic issues. Like I understand, I think Dex got that shit. NBA Youngboy got that shit. Obviously X had that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel you, Jake. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And my man Marley said, this younger generation. And, like, I really hate to say it, man, but like this younger generation that's coming up underneath us, that, you know what I'm saying, that's like our sons and nephews and whatnot. It's so many of us of my age generation, and also above mine. I don't want to just put it on my generation, but even the generation before mine. So many of us are not fathers, and so many of us are not providing any type of role model and any type of example for these young boys, man. And these young boys don't know nothing but maybe a single mother that has to kind of hop from man to man just to kind of support herself and support the child and whatnot, man. And like, or seeing like, you know, the father be abusive to their mother, you know. Like, I know one thing that I saw in X's history, like at a young age, let me see if I can find it, but at a young age, he was accused of like trying to stab some dude that was messing with his, I want to say he was like 10 years old or something. He was accused of like trying to stab some dude that was beating on his moms or something like that. Yeah, I don't know if I can find it. I ain't gonna spend too much, but I mean, this is what we dealing with, man. It's like a generation of youngins that don't have no fatherhood role model, no fatherhood example, and just not knowing how to correctly respond with their emotions and their feelings and their mental health. Because, you know, like my man T just said in the thread, PTSD, like, you know what I'm saying, we really are born with 400, 500 years of PTSD just ingrained in our DNA. And that's not even counting the shit that we got to encounter every day just waking up as young men in these hood areas. You know, like our friends get killed, you know, like our parents die too soon, our parents go to jail, our parents is drug use, like all this is weighing on our mental health, and we don't know how to properly address it. We don't know how to properly cope with it, and that's the reason why so many of these youngins is turning to this lean and turning to these pills and turning to all this. And you know what I'm saying? Like, that's another thing, too. Like, you ain't making no good decisions when you high out your fucking mind. Like, you high as fuck, and then, like, your chick piss you off, and you snap and start hitting on her, and you wondering why? You high as fuck, you drunk as fuck, your mental health is fucked up. And I ain't saying, like, your mental health is fucked up, like, as a diss, because my mental health is fucked up. You know what I'm saying? And I had to learn. I'm 38, and I just learned that shit a few years ago. I just started being able to be okay and saying, like, damn, nigga, I'm dealing with some shit. And now because I know better how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just drowning my sorrows in alcohol. I'm talking about it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm being about it. I'm reaching out to other people when I can see that they going through a little something. You know what I'm saying? My man T that's in the thread right now, he be reaching out to me all the time. Because we got, like, a lot of similar issues. You know what I'm saying? And, like, not to say that my man got issues, but you understand what I'm saying. Like bro be going through some of the same things I've been through, and he reaches out. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of homies like that, man. On Father's Day, my phone was ringing nonstop. So many of my homies were just reaching out, trying to just like, yo, TV, you good? How you feeling, man? You all right? Texts, phone calls, Facebook messages, everything. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that, and I love that. But we got to get to a point where we can recognize that, not in the people that's actually making the call and saying it out loud, like, yo, I got depression. I'm fucked up in the head. There's some shit going on with me. We got to be able to see that shit just in people, just as a whole. We got to get to a point where we can start recognizing that shit. I ain't saying we all doctors and psychiatrists and we got to be able to recognize mental health issues and shit, but you got to know when somebody close to you is dealing with some shit. You can listen to these niggas' music, man. Listen to these niggas' music, and you can tell something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And, like, it was something, man. It was something that I was watching. Damn, I think it was Murs. I don't know if y'all ever be watching Murs' breakdowns on Hip Hop DX. He was talking about, like, does your favorite rapper have mental health issues or something like? And he was just like breaking down song lyrics, like even if you look at the early hip hop, don't push me 'cause I'm close to the ledge. I'm trying not to lose my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's saying it in plain words. Like, nigga, I'm close to the ledge. Don't trip with me. I'm trying not to go nuts. I'm trying not to go crazy. You know what I'm saying? And like the first song that I really realized it was obviously Ghetto Boys, My Mind's Playing Tricks on Me. Like, it's everything in that song. It's depression. It's multiple personalities. It's schizophrenia. It's suicidal thoughts. Everything is in that song. And like, we got to start paying attention and not just hearing these catchy beats and just, you know, bobbing our head to the song. Like, man, a lot of these rappers is making cries for help, man. A lot of these singers is making cries for help. And like, I remember, I used to say that shit about Kid Cudi all the time. I'm like, man, Kid Cudi got depression, man. I've been like, I got some problems that nobody can see. Like all of my emotions are pouring. Like, it's like Cudi is telling you in plain English, he's fucked up in the head, something's wrong. He need, you know what I mean? And like, we just really we've become a nation of people that like, you just pass your homie and you be like, yo, you good? And they be like, yeah, I'm good. And that's it. Nah, man. You got to be able to really know. First of all, like just to yo, you good? Like, we got to get past that. Like, we got to start asking genuine questions and being real honest and upfront with one another, man. You know what I'm saying? And I agree, Cudi is a genius, but a lot of geniuses is crazy. Albert Einstein was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Alexander Graham Bell was crazy. A lot of like the line between genius and nuts is a very thin line. You know what I'm saying? But like a lot of times, man, you got to be a little nutty just to be a genius. All of our greatest performers and artists, all of them, man. Who was the painter that cut his ear off because he was losing his mind? You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, a lot of these musicians, a lot of these artists, a lot of these very creative people have mental health issues. And we not recognizing that. You know, we not seeing that. A lot of our family, bruh, you know what I'm saying? A lot of our family members dealing with some shit, man. My bro Ali just said in the thread, it said, I've dealt with PTSD and bipolar disorder for almost 4 or 5 years now. And no diss to you, Ali, but that's probably just as long as you've known about it, bro. You probably been dealing with that shit for years, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? And that's coming from your bro. I ain't trying to diss you by no means. I hope you understand that. That's just like, nigga, I guarantee. Like, nigga, you know, you remember how many deaths we used to have to deal with growing up, bro? You know what I'm saying? We dealing with PTSD from when we was kids, my nigga. Kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's probably just when you got diagnosed and found out, or maybe, you know, been strong enough to just accept it. You know what I'm saying? Because it took me, nigga, it wasn't about maybe 3 or 4 years ago where I was strong enough to say, you know what? I think I'm going to go see a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, yeah, Van Gogh, thank you, Suave. You know what I'm saying? Suave, the painter that cut his ear off. You know what I'm saying? My man Marley said too many yes people nowadays. In our time, friend could pull up on the side and be like a man. Like, man, you doing some dumb shit. You need to chill the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just a bunch of yes people around, and nobody's going to tell you that you're wrong. That's real shit, Marley. You know what I'm saying? Marley, one of my homies, again, that, you know what I'm saying, that grew up in the same environment I did, knows exactly what I'm talking about. My man Ali said, no, I've had this shit since I was a kid. Shootouts only. Exactly, bro. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I say this all the time, man. Like, a soldier go to war and see, like, you know, somebody in his platoon or whatever. I don't know what the proper terminology is, but see somebody that he just met, you know, 6 months ago, get killed in Afghanistan or Iraq or whatever it is, and they got PTSD. But we see niggas that we grew up with murdered, that we know 10, 15 years murdered, you know, by the 10s, by the 20s, by the 30s, and we just go to school the next day like it's nothing. Like, all of us, man, got some real serious fucked up ass issues, and I don't want to, you know, spend too much time on that, because I talk about mental health all the time, and I will always talk about mental health all the time. But like, there's an epidemic of these young rappers that's beating their bras, and motherfuckers is not really focused on that, man. And we really got to like get to a point where like we are learning from these mistakes, because young niggas gonna make mistakes. I'm not shitting on niggas for making mistakes, because we all been there. Like I said, Snoop was wild, and that nigga was walking around with chicks on leashes at the motherfucking what award show was he at when he had the bras on the leashes? Shit, I can't remember. But yeah, Snoop was pimping while he was married. You know, like, Snoop will talk about all that. And like, y'all keep on saying it, like, this cat X is you know, like we should cancel him because he was an abuser. But like, man, let's keep in mind the young boy was 20 years old, man. He had his whole life to be able to make a change and really become something positive, man. And I'm still sit on Jadena's tweet, man, because I think this shit is powerful. You know, this shit is powerful. You know, for those that are so woke that their compassion is asleep, remember this. If Malcolm X was killed at the age of 20, he would have died an abuser, a thief, an addict, and a narrow-minded, depressed, and violent criminal. So I believe in change for the young. Like, bruh, I believe in change for the young. My man Ali just threw something else out there. He said, yo, hitting your hoe doesn't help. You're going to go to jail, and she's still going to be out here fucking other niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's real shit. So, like, nigga, that, like, we got to find different coping methods, man. You know what I'm saying? Different ways to react to our feelings and different ways to react to our emotions. And we got to understand that emotions is regular shit, man. Shouts out to Drake, the most emotional rapper I've ever seen in life. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I always kind of felt Drake was dealing with some shit. I think he out of it now because, you know, that nigga living his life. But, like, always felt like all of Drake's album titles was some cryptic suicidal type. Like, if you reading this, it's too late. Take care. You know what I'm saying? Like, but we really got to start paying attention to our artists and, like, these obvious symbols that they be throwing at us, man, about how, yeah, that's right, Suave, it was the MTV Music Awards. Nigga Snoop was walking in with some chicks on leashes. So let's not talk about what niggas was doing in their 20s, you know, and to condemn them for the rest of their life. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Dre, he about to do the Marvin Gaye movie. He definitely was beating bitches at 20. You know what I'm saying? So, like, let's not act like niggas can't change. Niggas can't grow up and realize how stupid and fucked up they shit is. And all you niggas talking about beating bitches, I better never see y'all promoting Floyd Mayweather ever in life because Floyd been beating bitches for about 20 years. And then y'all niggas still ain't canceled that nigga's contract. R. Kelly out here damn near running out human trafficking of 20 and under. Y'all niggas still stepping in the name of love. So I don't want to hear that shit, man. Y'all got to get out of here. Y'all just, the majority of y'all want to cancel X just because y'all ain't fuck with his music. But if that niggas believed he could fly, y'all still be out here banging his shit. So I'm going to get the fuck up out of here, man. I just wanted to speak on that a little bit. And again, man, I'm not excusing the little nigga beating no chicks, breaking in houses and toting guns and stabbing niggas and all the shit he was alleged to have done. You know what I'm saying? But before I go, I'm going to leave you with some words from my bro in the thread. This is some powerful shit, my nigga. My nigga Ali said that niggas got to learn to love themselves before trying to love someone else. That's some real shit, man. So, like, to all you young cats out there, I don't know how many of y'all probably listening to me and hear my voice, man. I know it's probably few and far between, but you young niggas, man, ain't nothing wrong with emotions. Ain't nothing wrong with having feelings. Ain't nothing wrong with not understanding your emotions and your feelings and, like, not knowing how to deal with that shit. What is wrong with it is acting out in a rage, acting out in the fury, and taking it out on people that don't deserve it. A lot of times, man, a dude will beat his chick, and she ain't even who he's mad at. He might be mad from work and come home and take it out on her. Y'all got to understand how to channel y'all anger into more productive shit, man. Hit the weights, man. You know what I'm saying? Write a song. Like a lot of these, yo, put it in the music, man. Anything, you know what I'm saying? Go play some Call of Duty, shoot 17, 20 motherfuckers until you feel better, man. Play some Street Fighter, beat a nigga ass on that Street Fighter, some shit, man. We got to really learn how to channel our anger into more constructive means, you know? And again, I'm going to just end with the fact that, like, let's not cancel a young boy just because he did something that we don't like, because these young boys got time to make a change, man. They got time to make a change. They really do. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get up out of here. I really do appreciate y'all tuning in and providing a lot of positive feedback in the live feed. This your boy MTV, another Change the Channel episode, and we up out of here, man. Love y'all.